Hello, this is Adise Boucher, the New Money Mama, and I am sharing with you some insights from growing up with immigrant father. So now, those of you who don't know me, I am a mentor and guide for emerging entrepreneurs committed to actually creating that passion that they have inside, manifesting, creating a vehicle in the external world. Hey, Franny, how are you? Long time no see. So listen, guys, I want to share with you a quick tip. My dad, when he came, I'm glad you're doing great. When we came to the United States, we actually lived below the poverty line. That was a lot of fun, to have tens of thousands of cockroaches for pets and living off welfare food, having our utilities turned off at various times, cars repossessed, you name it. We lived across from people just publicly being abused and drunk. It was what an interesting childhood, right? But I want to tell you about when my father had 3 under-the-table jobs. My mom worked a graveyard shift. They would switch out the car when it wasn't repossessed. He would come home, leave the car running, she'd jump in, go to her midnight job. And one day my dad said that we would be rich. He said, one day we're going to be rich. And of course, looking at our environment, don't we sometimes doubt that things can be better? I sure did sometimes. It wasn't, some things about our experience were embarrassing. I'll go into that in another broadcast. However, I want to tell you this. Long story short, my dad did find a way to create money so that we now were middle class and could buy our own clothes instead of receiving everybody else's clothes, then high income earners, and then eventually millions of dollars, right? How did that happen? Well, let me tell you that people, initially the reaction was, oh boy, he got lucky, or wow, what did you do? And so let me share with you my bookshelf, because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to cut to it. One of the main things that my dad knew is that what you create here shows up here in your wallet. And he knew that if he could get great ideas in his head, it would keep him afloat of mediocrity. See, sometimes our environment weighs us down. And so we start to believe the circumstances, the cockroaches, the repossessions, right? The bills overdue, not having enough money. And the thing that keeps us afloat is what we think in our minds. That is what drives our actions, our words, and our aspirations. So he invested in books, in cassettes, in seminars. And he did that going through the thrift store. Even if he could find a $2 book or a $4 set of cassette tapes, he put that in his mind to keep him going. So let me share with you some of the books that are on my bookcase that contribute to our mindset to be able to create new money, new opportunities, freedom, even when the opposition is tempting us to believe that we are worth less. All right, guys. So let's take a look. Hey, Shani. So here are some of the books that I have on my bookcase. I have a whole lot less than I used to just because I recently moved and I could not fit all the books. But I want to share with you that, so here's my mentor crush, Tony Robbins. And so I have so many of his CDs. I haven't kept all of them. I have some from, what's his name? James Arthur Ray. I have to say he was one of my favorite conferences I ever attended in person. Let me share with you. This book is really good. It's The Conscious Creator by Krohn. Some of my earlier books, let me share with you, are Dave Ramsey and David Bach, and also Susie Orman. I think I have her somewhere around here. Yeah, right here. These were my very beginning ones, and they taught me to look at money just a little bit differently. Now, the way that I practice money is a little bit more advanced than these books start out with, but you've got to start out with the beginnings. You do. But let me share with you my 2 favorite books that I recommend to everybody because they are the foundation for any personal development course or book you read after that, or that you take or listen to after that. One of them is The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. This is a powerful book because it shows about how that little things each day create an incremental growth. Here's the thing. We think that in order to solve big problems, we need big solutions. That is not true. Oftentimes, the solutions to your big problems, whether they're big relationship problems, big health problems, big money problems, usually, most often, the solution is a very small thing, but it's about how you approach that very small thing. So I recommend that book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Now, if you want to get this book or any of the books that I will share with you today, you'll want to go onto facebook.com/New Money Mama. I have just posted a link to my bookshelf, and it has a lot of the books that I recommend to my clients and students. And it'll show you where to get those books. Now, the second book that I highly recommend, I just finished reading it, so it's not on my bookcase. Here it goes. It is Switch: How to Change Things When Change is Hard. Now, let me tell you, this book is awesome if you're wanting to change your body, your bank account, your mindset, your relationships. It has fascinating stories. Please take a look at it and read how this one guy in the U.S. was able to change the malnutrition in Vietnam in just 3 months. How the heck do you solve a big problem in such a short amount of time? Switch. This will help you in switching anything you want switching. This is all about what I teach my clients. That's what I really loved. It's about getting your left brain, your right brain, your conscious brain, and non-conscious brain in order. And let me tell you this. I know that reading is... Hold on a second. You're saying, what do you think about T. Harv Eker? He talks about how our mind is like a temperature gauge. Yes, I actually do teach that. If you go to newmoneymama.com and download 3 money mistakes made by every woman, I talk about how your mind and your ability to receive and create money is like a thermostat. If we don't change the temperature in our minds, we tend to adjust the temperature or the gauge of how much money we receive. So for example, we might get used to receiving, let's say, $2,000 a month. And as soon as we receive $5,000 a month, our brain, if it hasn't been adjusted in our beliefs of what we're worthy of receiving and keeping, then you'll get that extra $3,000 and quickly blow it. And then you may sabotage yourself the next month and not get that $5,000, or you might get it again and blow it again, those $3,000. And then you're asking, well, I'm making more money, but where the heck is it going? Have you ever asked yourself that? I'm making more money, but where the heck is it going? It means that there hasn't been the adjustment here to keep creating that amount of money, because there is something within you that actually believes you're not yet ready for that amount. So yes, T. Harv Eker speaks really well on that. Read T. Harv Eker. I have one of his books here. It's somewhere around here. Oh, honey, I read it a long time. Oh, it's like the Millionaire Secrets or something like that. Yeah, it's one of my favorites that I showed my neighborhood. All right, so these 2 books are the basis for anything else. If you understand how the slight edge, the Millionaire Mind is another one I have on there. But the slight edge will help you. It'll be the basis for all learning and personal development. And Switch will be the basis for all understanding and change and massive growth you want to create. Everything else builds, in my opinion, on these 2 books. Now, I know that's sacrilege for some of the friends that I have who love some of the classics. You know, let's see, where did I put my classics here? Anyhow, we have tons of books. Let me share Little Money Bible. We got Walk Your Talk by my friend Amy Walker. Mastering the Law of Attraction, Rich Woman, which is by Kim Kiyosaki. We've got, I already mentioned these guys over here. Killing Sacred Cows by Garrett Gunderson is just a good way to, even if, here's the thing. Oh my gosh, let me state this. So I was once sharing one of these books with some acquaintances of mine, and they said, well, you know, I've heard about that author, but I disagree with point XYZ. And so I don't think I'm going to read that book. Oh my gosh, people. Here's one of the nuggets I learned from my father. Every single book that you will read will give you at least one nugget that keeps you moving along the journey to prosperity and success. So you don't have to swallow every item of every book and every author. Take what resonates for you on your journey with your goals. So let's see, Franny, you asked, I want to read everything. How do I find the time? It's not about time, really. I was just talking about this with a colleague. We talked that time is more important than money because we can't replace it like money. Guess what's more important than those two? Energy. Energy is much more important than time of money. If you don't guard your energy, you will never have the time for the things that you want because you'll be recovering, you'll be feeling sluggish, you'll be trying to heal your health. So here's the thing, protect your energy. And the way you protect your energy is first by determining what is of importance to me. What is of importance to me? Just create a list of the top 5 things that are important to you. And anything that doesn't fall in those top 5 just does not go on my schedule. So my reading habits look different. It varies. And oh, here's the other thing, be flexible. So sometimes I get to read 10 minutes a day. Sometimes I get to read the whole day, the whole day. And that's what's happening this week. That's why this topic's on my mind and wanted to share with you. Listen, I know books seem boring, but pick the ones that are interesting to you. That's why I recommend Switch. Switch is so freaking good. Stories on every page to illustrate every principle. If you're like somebody who likes statistics and data, then maybe you're going to like something like The Millionaire Mind here by Thomas Stanley. They're the ones who created The Millionaire Next Door. Oh, come on, camera, flip over. All right, my camera just wants to look at me. All right, here we go. So Millionaire Next Door just teaches you that how you use your money or creating lots of money is not what creates wealth. Because I can tell you this, that most people, and I learned this particular quote I'm about to share with you from this, the 4-Hour Work Week, most people think they want to be millionaires, right? Or no, most people don't want to be millionaires. They just want the lifestyle that they think only a millionaire can have. And so that's what I liked about The Millionaire Next Door, is that you can actually create a millionaire lifestyle before you hit millions of dollars. And the more you live the lifestyle that you desire, that actually feeds you, that's in alignment with your goals, the easier it is to make more money. Isn't that the irony? It's such irony, such irony. All right, guys. Do you have any other questions for me before I shut off here? So remember, facebook.com/New Money Mama. And I have posted a link to my bookshelf. It doesn't have all the books on there yet. But it has tons of books that you can just pick one, gather that book, read it, eat it, man, eat it. Put that in your brain. Let your brain lift you up, right? Keep you aloft from what your circumstances may be telling you. Remember, I used to live with tens of thousands of cockroaches and lots of other interesting experiences in my life. But it is what's in here that helps you to look above the fray. Man, you got to get above the fray. Let's see, before we go, any other questions? Those 2 books I really recommend. Let's look. Oh, here are some of the classics. You may have heard of some of these. Oh, heavens. It's like wants me to give myself my own heart. All right, here we go. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Ooh-wee. That's how to create win-win relationships with people, man. You want to create money? Money travels through relationships. Money travels through relationships. You can see this is my battered copy. That's because this one's from my dad. Yay! If you are wondering whether God wants you to be successful or is that greedy, I would recommend Leslie Householder's book, Hidden Treasures. Find out why God wants you to be fruitful. Here we go. Oh, this is a fun one. It's a story version, Jackrabbit Factor by Leslie Householder, and then the sequel, Portal to Genius. Really good. I love it. I'll be honest, I love books that have stories. They're in story format, not so much data. Let's look here. Oh, I'll just show you real quick. Let's see. There's a book, Eckhart Tolle. That's a really hard book to read. I would not start out with that. Really hard book to read. Let's see. Okay. Well, here's the thing that I know about millionaires. Millionaires read, on average, 85% of them read 2 books per month or more. Now, they don't just read any old book. They're not like, not saying there's anything wrong with some fun reading, but when I say millionaires read 2 or more books, we're not talking about Harry Potter or Twilight or Hunger Games, even though those are fun to read. But the things that build in your mind tend to be books that help you understand you. It understands human nature. If you understand human nature, man, that's the secret to success. Human nature, man. So books like biographies, historical documents, let's see, how-to books, career-related books, psychology books, personal development books, any book, 2 or more a month that has to do with understanding human nature and success, the principles of success, will get you dragging along the path of journey or of prosperity. So, Franny, you're asking, do you think the book The Secret is good? The Secret. Okay, The Secret. I never read the book. I've watched the video. I don't know how many times. The Secret, for those of you who are new, came out about 8 years ago. And the thing I really love about The Secret is that it just made personal development really popular and really catchy. So it is good. Here's the thing. No one book is going to have all of the secret, all of the secret to success. Oh, heck no. This is why it's good to fill your mind with different aspects of personal prosperity. Ooh, you want to cover that, man. You want to cover that. The more aspects you understand, the more flexible you are, so you hit your challenges on the way to prosperity. Because the way to prosperity is not a slide. It's not smooth. It's a climb, and you're going to need different tools and different skills. All right. Any other questions you have about personal development? About reading books. Reading books is what got my father to create millions of dollars, got him on the path. There are other principles that go onto the journey of prosperity, but reading books is what introduces you to mentors. If you're not ready to invest in a mentor one-on-one, you want to invest in a mentor's thoughts. Invest in their books, their cassettes, their webinars, their seminars. Go and surround yourself with that energy. With that energy. The more you become with the traits that you want, right? The more you become that way, the more you will attract the energy of the people and the books that you need around. Do I take notes when I read? Sometimes. Sometimes. It depends if it's the topic I need next. I don't take notes with every book I read. Sometimes I just need a brain wash. Wash my brain of all the gunk. And I'll just read a book and use it like a fire hose to wash all the doubts away. Other times, if I'm working on a particular principle and I'm reading a book about that principle, I'll jot notes, but I take notes on my Evernote app. So I can, and I classify it. So for example, I'm reading a book called this one right here, You Inc. And I'm working on rebranding my company. So whenever I read something that I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see me doing that. That's fun. I will do that one. I pull out my Evernote, create the category branding or website, whatever, and I put my notes there so I can actually use it. I really don't take notes on everything because I really believe that will slow us down more than taking notes on the 2 or 3 things you're going to do. It's great to read. It's also even better to get that information and apply it. What causes retention of information better and easier is applying it. So oftentimes I will read something, and if it's really important and really a huge breakthrough, a paradigm shifter, I will share it with someone within the next 2 to 24 hours. That way my mind remembers it. Let's see. You had another question, Franny. What was it? How early do I get started? In the day? Is that what you're asking? How early do I get started varies. Sometimes I get started at 3 a.m., sometimes at 6 a.m., sometimes it'll be at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. is very rare. Usually just because I have young kids, I have to get started on the day to build my mindset up before they get up and claim my time, right? Let's see, Kris Hatchmom. Welcome, Kris Hatchmom. We're just wrapping up on the habit that helped my father to create millions of dollars and has helped me to create successful businesses. You cannot do this by yourself. And sometimes as solopreneurs, that is entrepreneurs who is a matter of 1 or 2 people, right? Sometimes we get so caught up in our own mindset. If we're a solopreneur and we're having a hard day, well, guess who's the only person giving us feedback? Doop, doop, our minds. So you want to get other voices in there, cheerleaders. Now, I don't mean being brainwashed by other people's beliefs, but cheerleaders. And really, that's what these books became for me and my father. Cheerleaders that we can keep going. Let's see. I think that's it. Let's just wrap it up. Get on facebook.com/New Money Mama. Get that list of books. Pick one or two to get started. I will be adding the Switch book since it's a recent one that I finished. I'll be adding it onto that book list today. So if you just wait a few seconds, I will add that on for you. But if anything, just pick one. Get started. When you're done with that, pick the next one. Remember, Millionaires, 2 or more books per month. Books per month. And if you can't do 2 or more, start with 1. Get 1 done, man. You want to get that cheerleader in your head. Again, these 2 books, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson and Switch by Chip Heath and Dean Heath. They're both brothers who researched how to create massive change when it's hard to change, man. It's really hard. Let's see here. Well, I think that's it. I am here as Adise Boucher, the New Money Mama. I'm reminding you, life is rich, and so are you. You just got to access it.